Okay, hi everybody. We are live with Tuesday Talks with Margaret. I appreciate you joining us on this special edition. I think Stephanie has some surprises, is what I hear.
Yes, it is a special edition. So Margaret, I have a couple of surprises for you because we have been working so hard with putting all this content on, Facebook Live and Tuesday Talks. And I know you've been working nonstop. So like our meetings go from like an hour and a day before to now just sometimes 15 to 20 minutes before our Tuesday Talk. So let everybody know we're great at improvising sometimes at these Tuesday Talks. But we decided to do something a little bit different today. I did say that we would have special guests last week, and at that time I didn't know who they were going to be yet. But since we've been so much about families, and last week we talked about parenting, this week I was able to get your kids, who you talk all the time, and their pictures are behind you, I see.
Yes, I have my family pictures.
Send me some videos of them talking about you. So
this should be interesting.
Yeah, some of them share some really interesting stories. I watched all of them before working on here. So I'm definitely looking forward to your perspective on some of those stories that they said. Share some of their favorite memories of you. So I was able to get 4 kids. I feel like that's a good amount of.
That's good, almost at 1/2.
But I got 4 of your kids to send videos in. So yeah, let's get right to it.
Okay.
The first one is going to be.
Okay.
So, first one I have here is
Kathleen.
Hey Mom, so sorry I can't make it tonight, but I wanted to hop on here really quick to let everybody know that I'm voting for Margaret Pickard because she is #1, the most amazing mother, but also because she is the most selfless woman I know. And every day she works to bring her community together so that everybody has a place to call home.
Oh, that's cute. Well, yeah, that's so fun because my daughter Kathleen works at Lowe's and she's in college and she's working right now for the summer. Really an amazing young lady. She is really speaking the truth about our family. We're very fluid in who we include in our family, and that's partly because we have stepchildren and people come and go, and we believe everybody has a place here in our house. So whether it's my kids, my stepkids, our friends, our family, we used to always have Sunday dinner for the teens from church, and so they would always, when our kids were in high school, they would all join in our house on Sunday. We'd have a real fun dinner for the kids just to kind of be together and have a real safe place to land. So our family really finds a place for everybody because this is where we feel everybody who comes in our house should feel like they belong and they have a place that's safe to lay their head. So that's fun. Thanks, Kathleen.
And Kathleen, she's so cute. And I think she did that so quickly on a whim. I don't even know where she is there, but
she looks like she's at work in the bathroom.
I love it. I love how quickly she was able to put that together and just send it off. Absolutely love it. Okay, so this next one has a little bit more of a story. So I'm going to share a video from Stetson.
Hi everyone, my name is Stetson Barchi. I am Margaret Pickard's oldest son, and I wanted to share a small memory of my mother because I wasn't able to make it to Tuesday Talks with Margaret. It's a highlight of our week, but I still wanted to tell you a little bit about my experience as her son and why she is the right one for this position. In particular, it's the little things that define character. And when I was young, I was only about 4 or 5, after my swim meets and my swim team, we would go to the grocery store. We would get a small little 25-cent donut, and we didn't have much money back then. But the reason that sticks in my mind is because those small things show that in parenting, it's not the big gestures that often make the biggest impacts. It's the small things that have that long-lasting impact and that show really how much you cared. And through those little things, I definitely know that my mom has that character, is a good person, wants the best. And so I encourage you, each and every one of you, to get out there, to vote, to mail in your ballots, and vote for Margaret Pickard for judge.
That's so cute. That's my oldest son, Stats. And I love those stories. I told my kids those, stories for many, many years because when our kids were little, we lived in Montana. We literally had just no money. I think I actually borrowed the $30 from my parents to sign him up for swim lessons. And afterwards, some of the kids would head over and get a donut at the store, and I didn't have 25 cents. I know that seems so crazy. I had 3 kids at the time, and I didn't have 25 cents for them to get a donut. So I had this little stash of like pennies and pennies and dimes and nickels, mostly pennies. And I'd tell my kids, like, just get the change if you can add it up to 25 cents. And I was so embarrassed that I would have these like pennies and nickels to make up the 25 cents for each of them, that I would give them the money so it looked like they actually earned the money to buy the donut, because it was embarrassing. We didn't have a lot of money, but they are really good memories, and they remember the donut stories and the trips to the donut store. And I remember at Christmas, we could not afford a gift for our kids. So we happened to be at the grocery store. We were just scraping by, and we saw these. We lived in Montana. It was super cold. They'd sled a lot, but we didn't have their own sleds. They would do it on cardboard. And so we were at the store, and there were these little round sleds that are like domes. Mm-hmm. They were $4.99. And we bought a blue one and we bought an orange one. And those are what our kids got. That was their whole Christmas, except for family and friends presents. And they loved those sleds, and they used them for years and years. But it was cheap. We didn't have any money, but those are actually really interesting and good times to remember and look back on, because now I'm thinking, oh, $4.99. But literally, I remember the donut story and how embarrassed I was that I couldn't afford the 25 cents. So I love that story. It means a lot to me that he remembers that. He said to me one time when we first moved here to Las Vegas, he looked around, and we were on a walk to some really, really nice neighborhoods. And he looked around and he goes, Mom, he was 8. And he said, Mom, do you remember when we were really, really poor? And I said, oh yeah, it was not too long ago. And he said, we were really rich because we had such good friends and we had one another. He's 8 years old and he said that, but that is one of my—
8 years old and he said that? Wow.
Meant so much. So I love those memories.
See, and it's so interesting that he had such a good memory about the donut story, while you had this kind of like embarrassing feeling towards that story, right? But to him, it wasn't embarrassing. To him, it was such a memorable thing, So it's, and I think we talked about this even just regarding this pandemic. Like we as adults see this as a kind of a scary, negative thing, but our kids probably love it that we're at home with them all the time, or that they have more time to spend with you. And so I think that's a really good representation of that. But that was one of my favorite videos that I got. Not that I didn't like all of them, but I love that one from Stetson.
The donut story. That's a fun one. I forgot about that. That's fun. Thanks, Jack.
Okay. Are you ready for your next video?
I am. What is my next one?
Okay, I just love this one because she is so graceful the way she talks, and she's such a beautiful, beautiful young lady. This one is from Bailey.
Hi, my name is Bailey and I'm Margaret, Pickard's daughter. I just wanted to take a moment tonight and share an experience I've had with my mother that really showed me how much she cared about people. When I was younger, my little sister and I would sometimes tag along with my mom as she went, and she taught the paralegal program at UNLV. While my sister and I were sitting in the back of the classroom, I remember looking up one time and really watching intently as she taught her class, as I really always have looked up to my mother and I wanted to know and be more like her. And as I was watching her talk and teach these students, I could tell that she truly cared about each and every one of them, and that she took the time to understand what questions they had and to be able to truly know where they were coming from. And then after class, she would stay for quite a while, and she would take the time to have these students come up and really explain to them how the material worked and what they weren't quite comprehending. And she was always fair, and she always taught me that we need to have patience and we need to have kindness with everyone. And I know this is an important quality as a judge, and one that she will bring to her courtroom as she judges, and as she always shows that patience and kindness for every single person that she comes in contact with. And she's always been the role model in my life to show me this and so many other qualities. I know that that's why I'm voting for Margaret Pickard, and why she will be the best pick to be the judge.
That's so cute, Bailey. I love that. That's so sweet. Bailey is my cutie pie that she just got married last year. And she is just got the tenderest heart ever. And that's so sweet that she said that. She's been my supporter every day for everything, and comes to court and watches me because she's following my footsteps, studying sociology. So I'm really excited about that. That is fun. Thanks, Bailey. That is such a sweet memory.
She's so eloquent the way she talks too. I mean, just like you, like, you know, it just flows. And I just love listening to her video. I think I watched it several times.
You're so cute. I love that. So,
yeah. So she actually sat in your classes when you were teaching at the law school?
No, not very much. I mean, I was at the continuing education, and she probably came in 2 or 3 times, and it was usually, you know, they'd come in, sit at the back because somebody was, you know, going to pick them up or something, but they didn't usually come in. There was a rare occasion, but there was twice. And one time I remember that I gave them headphones and they were listening to a book on tape, because I'm big into books on tape. And I remember they were in the back of the classroom and they were super quiet usually, because my kids knew, don't make a peep unless it's your turn to talk. And it was so funny because they didn't realize they had headphones on, and then they started talking to each other really loud. And so of course the class turned their head like, what are you doing? Because it was fun. But I have some really good memories. They used to come to the graduations with me all the time. And so they thought that my job was going to these parties where I had all this food and balloons. They thought that was my job. No, that only happens once a year, but that's what you remember, I know. So it was rare that they came in. So it was kind of fun. I forgot those 2 little cutie pies at the back of the room waiting for me some days.
It's interesting to hear the stories from your kids later in life. Like I mean, my kids are so young right now, you know, they're 2 and they're 6, and sometimes they ask me what I do, and it's so hard for me to explain to them what I do, because I can't fully, like, I actually introduced my 6-year-old to the word addiction for the first time, and she kept saying addition, and I said, it's not addition, it's addiction. But even trying to explain that concept, you know, I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to explain this to a 6-year-old yet, but you know, she really wanted to understand what I did. And I think those are the memories that they have, you know, going to your office, going to, you know, the school with you, and, you know, sitting in the back and seeing that. And, you know, so they have kind of this different picture of who we are and what we do. You know, for whatever reason, both of my kids think that Alan and I are secret agents. So I'm gonna let them keep thinking that for a little bit, that we're secret agents and we actually have secret power. But you know, I'm gonna grow out of that one days. But that's what I thought about when, you know, kids sitting in the back of headphones. So that's really cute.
I think that's super fun. That's cute.
So I have, the next one is a special one. So not only your kids, I actually got a video from Haley as well. Oh. Haley is your daughter-in-law, right?
Yes.
I wanted to share a memory about Margaret. I'm married to Stetson, her oldest son. And there was this one day that Margaret and I spent the entire day together. She took me to her gym and we went out together, and she brought work with her too, which was so fun. I love seeing Margaret do what she loves to do, and which is to unite families and bring them together. She is so kind and so empathetic, and I loved seeing her show those characteristics to the people around her. And what made that day so special to me is that whenever she introduced me to someone, most of the time she just said, "This is my daughter." He didn't even have to distinguish and say, "My son's wife." She just made me part of her family and has always treated me like I was always part of the family. She's so inclusive. She's so loving, kind, and best mother-in-law in the world. And I love her and appreciate all that she's done for me. And I know I'm great at this judge position.
Oh, that's sweet. I love Haley. She's so sweet because she's family oriented, and our son was very social, and he is very social. But when they got married and they come in to visit, she wants to spend all her time right here with the family, and I love it because she brings it back home. And so she's an amazing young lady. She's a nurse, and so she came to watch court because she wanted to understand the mental health impact of it. So that was very interesting. I love those. Those are wonderful.
That was so sweet. And I actually do see it now that Stetson is more social and she's more, you know, she's quieter and calmer and you know, but I love how wonderful your kids are in describing you and the memories that they have of you, you know? So, I mean, some of those videos gave me goosebumps just because like, it's just, I think this is definitely a special edition of Tuesday Talks for sure.
That is, I love it.
So
I've got so many amazing kids and grandkids.
So I actually had one more that was just sent to me. So I haven't watched it yet, but let's see.
Let's see.
Let me see if I can put it up. Let me hold on. I'm gonna pull it up for you here.
Oh, those are my grandkids. I can hear them.
Okay, let me see. It's really quick and short, but it just came through, so I'm gonna share it.
We love you, Grandma.
Look. Oh, those are my grandkids and my daughter. Lisa's my oldest daughter. That's so fun. I love it, love it, love it.
So these are your grandkids?
Those are my grandkids. Well, the one in the middle is my beautiful oldest daughter. And then her daughter, all the 4 kiddos are my grandkids. Yes.
That is so cute.
Look, aren't they beautiful? Look at those girls. They're getting so old. I love them growing up. Aren't they
I can't
beautiful?
believe these are your grandkids. I feel like
Right.
We're gonna listen to it one more time.
I love you guys.
I know. I'm gonna listen to it one more time. They're so cute.
Love you, Grandma.
So cute. And and my daughter's the best cook ever. Oh my heavens, she's
So cute. So this is the one in the middle is your daughter, right?
Yes, one shirt is my daughter, my oldest daughter.
Your oldest daughter. Okay, I don't think I've met her yet. That's so sweet.
So sweet. I love them. They are darlings. She's is an amazing mom with those kiddos. That's fun. Thank you for doing that and putting all that together for me.
I know it was kind of on a whim, and I know you're on call today too, so I wasn't sure what we were going to talk about or what we were going to do. But you know what? We've been talking about families, and right now I feel like we learned a lot from you in Tuesday Talks so far, but I thought this might be a week for you, like literally for you, instead of you presenting the world with all your knowledge and experience that you have.
Well, that's a fun way to do it. I really do appreciate it. My family is amazing. We just have a crew that has really come together and really made every heartache worth it. Every good time worth it. Everything is fun when we get together. We have a family reunion once a year. We have ours in August this year. Really fun to get together with those kids and just swim and play and have fun. And with our older kids, we are game players. We play a lot of games. We play a lot of cards. We play marbles. We just love to play games. It's really fun. Cheap, it's easy, and it's super fun to be together.
What's your favorite board game? What do you normally play?
We like marbles, aggravation. We love to play aggravation. Although I love up the river, down the river if we play cards, and I love Las Vegas golf. We just played that on Sunday night with some friends. So we play a lot of cards. So we get together once or twice a week with friends and play games, and it's just a really good way to spend time together.
Wow, I don't even know those games, so I need to
Come on over and we'll play.
Right? We need to have a game night or something together.
I know, anytime, we would love it. I love game night. We always have it every Monday night. For 7 years, we did game night on Monday night with some friends of ours. And those are the ones we played games with on Sunday. We don't do it quite as often because we're all scattered now, but we still get together every week one way or another to play games, have a barbecue, do something fun.
That's great. I think that's really great.
I love it.
We're on the last few weeks of mail-in ballots here.
Yes, there is one in-person poll in North Las Vegas, but you have to go all the way out to North Las Vegas in order to cast your ballot. Otherwise, you can do mail-in. A lot of people just are comfortable putting it in the mailbox. I was comfortable with that. Some people I know want to actually take it to the post office and put it inside and deliver it, but they're all very secure. Just make sure to get your ballots in. The last day to get them postmarked is June 9th. So I hope you all get your ballots in. Every vote counts. That's what I tell everybody. Please never say my vote doesn't matter. Even if you only know 1 or 2 people on that ballot, make your voice heard. Make sure you vote.
That's 2 weeks from today. So you guys have 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today. It's crazy.
My family normally doesn't do mail-in. They don't do mail-in. They don't even know what a mail-in ballot is. But because of this whole thing, it was my mom's a couple weeks ago, and everybody came over to our house. It was the first time that we all had kind of like a family gathering since this whole quarantine.
Yes.
And I didn't tell them to do this, but when they all came over, my aunt, my uncle, my parents, they all brought their ballots with them.
Oh, that's funny. How do I vote? How do I vote?
What do we do?
That's good. They trust you. You know a lot of the judges, so they trust you. So
I said, okay, as long as you do this one, that's all I can say. But then I showed them how to put it in the envelope and they had to sign. But, you know, it was the first time that they did that. But they're holding up this paper and they're like, we don't know what this is. Like, how do we do this? You know?
Right, especially with that, people are getting confused by the back of the ballot because there's two places you sign your name and you print your name, and a lot of people are missing that part. And that's a little confusing, especially because the directions are folded inside out in the envelope, so you don't actually immediately see them until you open it up to put your ballot in the security.
They have the in-person place too, because I know I've gotten a couple people ask me what happens if they don't have their ballots yet, even though they've registered to vote.
I don't have my ballot yet. I'm still waiting to get it.
So, I mean, do you have any suggestions or advice for those people who have registered to vote but haven't received their ballots in the mail? Should they just go to the same place that they registered to vote?
No, they can do that, but actually you call the Clark registrar, and let me just see, I don't have a number immediately available, but I had it. We'll post it on our website below this video because we had it, and we did a post. I'm just looking for it really quick to see where everybody can call, but there is a number that you can call. It's a direct line to the Clark County Register of Voters, and it's like 7811. I think it's like 455-7811. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, definitely. So they call in now, and then the people there can direct everybody what they need to do. Haven't received their ballots in the mail.
Right. If you haven't received your ballot, you just let them know. The Clark County Registrar. I'm sorry, I should have had it first and foremost right there, so I could just look it up and tell everybody what the phone number was, because it's far back.
I kind of just threw that one at you anyway, because I remember somebody telling me about it last minute.
Yeah, so I just called the Clark County Registrar of Voters. It's kind of hard to find their number, but like I said, we'll go and we'll get that number. And it's 702-455-2811. So 455-2811. That's the Clark County Register of Voters. You just give them a call. You tell them you didn't get your ballot, and they'll send you out a duplicate ballot. I actually had to do that, so it's kind of, yeah. Hopefully, we'll still
post that and put the instructions up again, because we're on our last 2-week stretch here. So got to get them all in.
Make sure you
have a ballot party like me.
Right. Do a ballot party, do something. Well, I appreciate everybody's support in this election process. It does not come naturally to me to ask people for their support. It does not come naturally to ask for donations. None of that comes naturally. I really had to get outside of my shell because I believe in our community, and I believe in more importantly, we need judges who are knowledgeable, who are fair, and who have integrity. And that's what I bring to the bench, and that's what I assure you I will provide if you elect me in the next 6 years. I appreciate everybody's support through all of this, and Stephanie, you for putting these together every week, and this great idea that you had to do these in the first place.
Yes, of course, everybody needs to know the real Margaret Pickard. I mean,
yeah,
there's another side of you that everybody sees. So obviously we're on Facebook, but where else can everybody find you? You
can find me at Pickard4Judge, the number 4 Pickard4Judge at Instagram, at Twitter. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can also find me on Facebook, and as Stephanie said, I actually have really, really high ratings on some Oreo cookie videos that I've done. Yes. To show people. We just posted another one this week with the samples of tuxedo Oreos, of Halloween Oreos, and that's gotten a ton of hits on it. And that's because a lot of people ask me to do that. I just make Oreos for fun, for friends. I never charge for them. I make them for weddings. I make them for bar mitzvahs. I make them for birthdays or baptisms, whatever it is. And so I did that, and it's really fun because I want people to see what you can do while you're with your family during these times. So thanks for sharing my family with me tonight. I thought that was really fun.
Yes, and they're so lovely. I'm so appreciative that they were able to put that together so quickly. So great. Well, this was definitely a special edition of Tuesday Talks.
Well, thank you so much for doing it, Stephanie, and everybody get your votes out there. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next Tuesday at 6 o'clock on Facebook Live. Thanks so much, you guys. Bye-bye.